All right, can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. Yeah, I'm okay. We're on now. We're in. All right. Anything can happen when you're live. You mute your mic and then your microphone don't want you to talk. All right, so y'all, welcome to the show once again. You can leave your comments in the box. If you know this lady right here, you can give her a shout out. As a matter of fact, while we're watching this, let me see if I think I put it on here. You can just go to her website. But let me introduce you to who she is. If you are living under a rock and you don't know that we have an election May 24th, right? May 24th, 2022. This lady right here that's coming up on your screen, Miss Candice Pickett, she is running for place 16 in the criminal court. In the criminal court. And so I'm excited to have her. We'll show her flyer again later on in the show. But we want to give you guys an opportunity who you hear the name, you see the yard signs, but you don't know the candidate. So we got several of these happening this week. I do want to make an apology. We had to reschedule Miss Millhouse. She will be on Saturday. We're going to do a special thing for her just so you guys can know who she is. But we got somebody even cooler. Yeah, I'm talking about LaChange. LaChange is a good friend of mine, so I can mess with her like that. We have Miss Candice Pickett. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Josh?
Good. So let's get the preliminary parts out the way.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you currently do?
Okay.
And then we're going to get more deeper into who you are.
Gotcha. So my name's Candice Pickett, live here in Birmingham. I have been a practicing attorney now for over 14 years, all of it in the criminal sector. And right now I am currently a prosecutor in the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, Birmingham Division, under the Honorable Danny Carr. And I'm currently running for Circuit Court Judge, place 16.
All right. So where you from? Who was Candice before going around and taking all the bad guys out?
So born and raised in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Okay.
That's where my parents met at TU. My mom's side of the family is actually from Inslee, right here in Inslee. My dad's side of the family is out of Bullitt County, East Alabama. Grew up in Tuskegee, went to high school in Montgomery, and then came to the University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Went there for undergrad, law school. Started my practice in Tuscaloosa County before coming here to Jefferson County in Birmingham.
Okay. My niece is at Tuskegee, by the way, so big shout out to you. So why criminal law?
Well, criminal law just spoke to me, and it allowed me to be more of service to people. On the civil side, no offense to my civil attorney friends, but oftentimes you're dealing with businesses. Sometimes, depending on the area you're in, you're dealing with, John Doe or Jane Doe. But in the public or in the criminal side, you're dealing with the public 24/7, and you're actually able to see the difference that you can have in people's lives. So criminal law spoke to me more.
Yeah, I'm not being rude. I'm actually playing producer too. We got 2 producers going on right now. So before we talk about the judiciary ways, let's talk about the county where we are now. Where do you think we stand when it comes to criminal court system now, and what's going on in the county now?
Well, I'm running for a criminal judicial seat, so my focus for my entire career has been on crime, and particularly here in Jefferson County. And all you have to do is check the news, check AL.com, check Twitter, and you see that we definitely have an issue with crime here in Jefferson County. And with my work as a prosecutor, I've helped with working with victims, even trying to help defendants get out of the life of crime, agreeing to probation, agreeing to drug rehab where it was necessary. But I think what we need now at this point in Jefferson County is we need judges on the bench who have that experience, who are fair, but who are firm. Okay. I think we need more of that on the bench right now, and that's what I'm hoping to bring.
Okay. All right, so since you said that that's what you're bringing, where are you trying to bring that to again? What place is this?
To place 16's criminal circuit court.
Okay, all right. So, and this is 100% criminal court, correct?
Yes. So the criminal courts, the circuit court judges handle all felonies, whether it's a violent felony, a property crime, a drug felony. Once it comes out of the grand jury and comes to circuit court, the circuit court judge is the person who presides over the trial. You see on TV the trial with the 12 jurors and that person up at the top, that would be the circuit court judge. We would handle the pleas in circuit court. Also, if you're plead guilty to or found guilty of a misdemeanor, and you appeal that misdemeanor, that goes before a circuit court judge as well.
Really? I didn't know that.
So the stuff that you've probably been seeing with Brookside, the people who appealed Brookside tickets, and you probably saw in the paper a judge here in town dismissed a lot of those appeals. That was a circuit court judge because they were on appeal before her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we saw somewhat of history going with the confirmation of Judge Brown.
Yes.
What does that mean for you as you are trying now to get that role?
It's very crazy to be on this journey of my goal of trying to become a circuit court judge at the same time that we have the first African-American woman seeking nomination to the United States Supreme Court. Like it's something that the little black girl in me who was watching Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show, something that I didn't think that I would ever see in my lifetime. And so to see it now, it's amazing. Yeah, I've been glued to it. It's amazing.
It's funny that you just said that because there's a lot of black girl magic that is happening now.
Yes.
Where we're transitioning, we're making some power moves. And sisters are doing it big.
Oh, yes.
And so you're next in line for that.
That's a prayer.
But at this point, we see what the numbers are in court. We see how it's going, especially with some backlogs from pandemics.
Yes.
What do you say to someone that says, man, I went to court and it don't look like it's fair for me. I don't think I'm going to get justice. What do you say to somebody in that?
I say to that person, don't lose hope, because I could speak for the people in the DA's office where I work. We do care. We're fighting for you every day. Oftentimes the battle that's happening, you don't even see it. It's happening behind the scenes. So we do care. We do understand. As far as defendants who have cases that you feel like they are lagging on forever, we know, and we are doing everything in our power to make those cases move. I know our office works very closely, not only with the judges, but with the public defender's office, also with the private defense bar, trying our best to get justice as swiftly as possible. And as fairly as possible. But it's an uphill journey. I was talking with a group of people a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of explaining, like, when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, we were about to start a grand jury that following week. Well, we couldn't have that grand jury. Grand jury didn't start back up until 2021.
Wow.
And you didn't start back with those cases from 2021. You had to go back to the cases that were pending back in March of 2020. So, it was a lot. Like, contrary to popular belief, crime didn't stop.
Right.
When COVID hit. So it's going to take some time. And anytime I'm talking to a victim, anytime I'm talking to an attorney or a witness, I tell them, be patient with us, because we feel it too. Like we feel the burden and we feel the need for things to happen. And we're doing everything we can on the criminal side to make things work and to keep it fair. And to keep it efficient as well. So
I like to teach people, and I like people to learn things when they're watching.
And you're talking to a teacher, so yes.
So grand jury. We keep hearing that word.
Yes.
What is a grand jury? For folk that don't know what that is. I know what it is, but for those that don't know what it is.
For those that don't know. So a felony case can come about in a lot of different ways. One way a felony case can come about is a person can be arrested. Warrant is issued, they're arrested, they either make bond or they're not able to make bond, and their case goes to district court. In district court, a few things can happen. One, they could plead it.
Mm-hmm.
They could plead guilty and handle their case right there in district court. Or they can have the case waived or bound over to the grand jury.
Okay.
If it's waived to the grand jury, that means the defendant is saying there's no need for us to have a hearing. There's enough probable cause for the case to go forward. Let's go ahead and put it on the grand jury, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Bound over is what happens when the defendant says, I want to have a preliminary hearing because I want the state to show the court whether or not they have enough evidence for the case to even go to the grand jury.
Okay.
And if a judge finds that there is enough evidence, they send it to the grand jury. If the judge finds that there's not enough evidence, they can dismiss it. If a case is waived to the grand jury or bound over to the grand jury is 16 people who meet in secrecy. The only people who are present are the grand jurors, the witnesses who testify, and a representative from the district attorney's office.
Okay.
For Jefferson County,
judge?
There's no judge.
Wow.
So the Jefferson County Birmingham division, that's Danny Carr or someone he designates. The grand jury hears the evidence that the state has up until that point. And if they think that there is enough probable cause, a majority vote will send the case to circuit court. Or if the grand jury finds that there's not enough, they can dismiss the case. It's called a no bill, and they can decide that the case can't go forward. If the grand jury sees fit to send that felony case to circuit court, then that's where a circuit court judge that I'm trying to become, that's where we would end up with the case.
Okay.
That's where the person would be arraigned and told what their final charges are. What if the grand jury finally decide that you are going to be what those charges will be, what you will be held or having to have a trial on if you see fit. If you decide you want to plead guilty, you can plead guilty before that circuit court judge. If you decide you want to have a trial, that trial will be before a jury or before a judge if you choose. Or you may have the state decide that there's not enough there for what the grand jury indicted you for. So you may end up pleading to something less, or the state may end up deciding to dismiss it.
Okay, so
what the grand jury does is they are the people who make the final decision as to what the charges are that go to circuit court.
So it's not like the 12 people you see when you're in court. These are 16 people. You definitely don't get to know who these 16 people are.
No. But they're members of the community. They're picked just like a normal jury.
So someone's, help me, correct me if it's wrong. Are these 16 people, are they used for every grand jury or?
Perfect question. So here in Jefferson County, we divide our grand juries up into quarters.
Okay.
So there's a grand jury that meets January, and it's that same grand jury hears cases in January, February, and March.
Okay.
Then we get another set of people.
Okay.
And then those people will hear cases April, May, and June.
Okay.
Then we get another set of people. They'll hear cases July, August, September. Then you'll get another set of people. They'll hear cases October, November, December.
Wow.
Yeah. So grand jury is a big commitment. It's a big
it revolves
and it's a different set of people each quarter, but the same people hear cases for that.
So for those 3 months, I get to hear all those different cases for those 3 months. Then my service is done to someone else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what are some other things you think people should know? Because a lot of times we see the court shows, we see Law and Order, but realistically, I think Jefferson County people should know what happens in their court system.
Yes. So circuit court judges oftentimes deal with issues of bond. So if someone is still in custody when the case comes off of grand jury, oftentimes the defense attorney will make a request for bond. That'll be dealt with by the circuit court judge. Circuit court judges deal with bond revocations. So for example, if someone was already on bond and they violated the conditions of their bond, either by not doing what they were ordered to do or picking up new charges, circuit court judge handles that. I mentioned earlier, they handle pleas. They also deal with probation, sentencing, in specific types of cases. They deal with if people violate those sentencing conditions, probation revocations or community corrections revocations. Circuit court judges also if they hear something that makes them think that something more needs to be done in a particular case, they have the ability to do that. For example, if you are looking at someone's history or seeing them in court and you're realizing there's a drug issue, you as a judge can kind of work with their defense attorney to find them drug treatment and get them into a facility for help. Or if they are someone who they're committing the crimes that they're committing or in the situation that they're in because of a lack of job training. There are programs that a lot of people don't realize that are targeted specifically for people in the criminal justice system. In fact, there's a second chance job fair at the Boutwell tomorrow being put on by Danny Carr. Tomorrow, March 22nd. I think it starts at 10.
I think it does, yeah.
But it's specifically for people who have criminal convictions, criminal records. These people, these businesses specifically want to hire and get those people back on their feet and get them back acclimated into society so that they don't end up back in the criminal justice system again.
I love the Second Chance program because I started out helping the very first time they did one. I was a part of the planning committee for that. But one of the cool things about it, even before that, we were doing some with the Dannon Project. I used to be a part of the Dannon Project as a recruiter. But one of the cool things I love about the district attorney's office is this, that they work with the judges to help those that have warrants, have felonies, been in the system to prevent them from not going in. What are some of the things, I know you can't make promises, but what are some of the things you're hoping to do in your seat?
I'm hoping primarily just to not let cases lag. People's lives are tangled up. I've dealt with cases where divorces are caught up in criminal cases, or someone's ability to keep a job or get a job are caught up in waiting on the criminal justice system to move. So one of the things that I want to do is make sure that we keep it efficient and keep cases moving at a good pace so that they're not lagging for unnecessary reasons. Sometimes you got to take your time when there's certain things you're waiting on, but for the most part, keeping them moving. The other thing is not only in just being a firm judge, I want to also be a fair judge, someone who listens to both sides. Like when you're dealing particularly with a criminal case that involves a victim, a property crime, a burglary, a robbery, what most people want when they come to court is just to be heard. They just want someone to give them that opportunity to just express how they feel or express what they think or give the court an idea of what they're looking for. And oftentimes your job as a judge is to educate. I mentioned earlier, I teach at Stanford, I teach their mock trial program. So oftentimes I have to teach them about the criminal justice system. And oftentimes people just want to be heard and want to be educated and they want to understand what's going on. And that's something that I intend to do as a judge, is to be the type of judge that, make sure people understand what's going on in their cases and understand what the process is, that they don't feel like they're just flailing out in the ether with no one really trying to help them.
Gotcha. Y'all give me a second. I'm actually trying to put our website up so that way you guys can know how you can find out more information. And my system doesn't want to be friendly with me right now. Now, just for clarification for those that want to know, this is an open seat, correct?
Yes. The judge that's currently in the seat is not running. She's retiring. Okay.
So this is an awesome opportunity for new setup of eyes and new direction. Are you really ready for that? You ready? Like, let's have that real conversation. Are you ready?
You would ask me that on live.
I would, yeah.
I mean, it's something, being a judge is something that has been on my heart for years.
Okay.
But what kept me from doing it was I wanted to make sure I was ready. I wanted to make sure that pretty much any circumstance that a criminal court judge could find them in was a circumstance that I had actually dealt with in my career. And now after 14 years, it'll actually be 15 years into September, I think I have now reached that point where anything that could come across a judge's desk, anything that could happen in a courtroom, I've seen it, I've dealt with it. Gotcha. And now I feel like it's the time for me to take that experience, take that temperament, take the reputation that I've built over the past almost 15 years and bring it to the bench where I think it could be of more use and more help.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, y'all, listen, if you got some questions, if you want to kind of know a little bit more about her, you can go to kandicepickett.com.
That's it.
Tell people, what you need help with. It's election season. We know
it is.
You got to have funds. You got to have yard signs. You want those signs out. All that kind of stuff. So other than the website, what are some other ways people can reach out to you? How can they be a part of Team Pickett?
So if you go to the website, you will see the link to my Facebook and my Instagram. As most people will tell you, you can message me on Facebook, you can DM me on Instagram, and I respond. You can. So those are the best ways to get in touch with me. Also on the website, we have a support section.
Okay.
You can give me your name, your phone number, your email. Let me know if you want to be a part of the phone banking that we're doing, or if you want signs that you want to put up, or if you want to be a part of knocking on doors, which we'll be doing in the next couple of weeks. Go to the website, go to the support page, give me that information, and we will be reaching out to you in the next few days to get you on Team Pickett, get you ready to go and out there so we can make this happen.
Awesome. So, y'all, I had an awesome opportunity this Sunday. We went and visited a church, and I had a chance to kind of worship with Miss Pickett, and Chris Christie and others kind of came in. You got a gift on you that is, I'll put it this way. I did not see a politician yesterday.
Because I am not a politician.
I saw a servant.
Yes.
I saw a servant, not only a legal servant, but a faith-based servant. What does your faith mean to you in this journey? Because people don't realize I've ran before, so I know there's struggles.
I come from a praying family. My paternal grandmother, mother of the church, my last living grandfather was a deacon in his church. My dad was a deacon. On my mom's side, her mom was like an elder in her church. So I come from a praying family. It's just been a part of my life. I know no other way.
Right.
I guess that's the best way to put it. I know no other way. I know no other way to go than to go to prayer, to go to my scripture, to go to my prayer warriors that are surrounding me at all times. I know no other way to live.
Yeah, I promise you, I thought she was gonna sing yesterday. she started pointing out people, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'll catch you.
That's that daughter of a deacon, man. It comes out. It comes out.
Sometimes my mom was a preacher, so and my dad was a Sunday school teacher, so I already know what it's like being on that journey.
Yes.
What do you want to say to people right now?
What I want to say to people is it's time for some new ideas on the bench. It is time for someone who can see things from both sides, who has spent their career not only being concerned with the needs of victims of crimes and also the needs of law enforcement, but also being acutely aware of the needs of the people who are charged with crimes, and being acutely aware of the need for fairness on that side as well. A lot of people ask me, well, you're a prosecutor. And I'm like, yeah. And as a prosecutor, there have often been times where I was fighting for a defendant more than someone else in the courtroom. And people would kind of look at me kind of weird. And I'm like, because I saw the issue. I saw that there was something more going on that needed to be looked into instead of just seeing this person as an alleged criminal. And we need more of that on the bench here in Jefferson County if we're wanting to start really seeing some change. I was talking with a group a few weeks ago, and I was telling them I can't think of the last time that I handled a homicide case where my defendant was over the age of 30. And that is something that it just bothers me every time I see it. And it's something that needs to change. And you need people not only in the prosecutor's office, not only as defense attorneys, but also as judges who see the need for that change and who aren't afraid to be fair, but also aren't afraid to be firm to make that change happen. And so that is what my goal is. That is why I'm running for Jefferson County Circuit Court Judge, place 16 on the criminal division, because I want to be a part of that change.
And when are they supposed to vote for you?
The election is Tuesday, May 24th. I think we're less than 9 weeks out as of tomorrow, I think.
Don't scare me.
Yes.
Like it's been that
I think
real?
it's about 9 weeks tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I will say this. When you go into a hospital, you want and you pray for a doctor, a medical physician that can handle the situation and know what they're doing. Especially when they're in an operating room. You don't want me operating on you. Trust me, you definitely don't want James operating on you. You want somebody that knows what they're doing. And so I want to encourage people to go to kandicepickett.com. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. And go to her website, learn about her. I think she may have a number on there where you could call and ask 50 million questions that I didn't ask, but you can do that. She is running on the Democratic ticket.
Yes.
And it is important that we get out and vote, because if we just rely on chance, you're not sure what's going to end up in the court system. We see the news. We see what happens. There is no solution to stopping crime except for getting our hands on it and being able to prevent someone that is in the act now to learn their consequences, and they can tell others. So you want somebody that can surgically fix the situation, or can look at both parameters from the victim side to the defendants. You want to be able to know that you got a judge in Jefferson County that's going to give you the 411 and to help you out. Candice Pickett is her name. May 24th, 2022, 7 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. You get an opportunity to vote for her. You get an opportunity. You got any meet and greets or anything coming up soon that people can come and
still working on some, and that's why I'm sending people to the website and to social media. You'll get all of those notifications as soon as the dates are set.
Okay. Y'all next Supreme Court Justice, Candice Pickett. Somebody call Joe Biden. Tell her she's available. Y'all can fly out to DC. So y'all make sure that y'all get a chance to check her out and look at her. We got several interviews tomorrow. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow. I'm going to tell you guys real quickly who our amazing guests are for tomorrow, so that way y'all won't be blindsided tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow we have Nina Taylor, who is running for state rep. We have Coach Fred Plump, who is running for state rep. I know that Wednesday we have Ben Larkin, who's running for judge. We may even have a U.S. Senate candidate joining us. And I think we got one more. We got another judge candidate coming. I'm trying to get you guys an opportunity to meet these people because of COVID, because of the pandemic, everybody ain't going everywhere. But y'all stuck to your phones, you stuck to your laptops, you stuck to your TVs, and you can watch it. To my folks watching us on Apple TV and Roku, thank you so much for watching. Those that are listening to us on all of our audio podcast platforms, y'all the best. It's because of you guys we're able to do this. If you want to be a sponsor, listen to me. If you want to be a sponsor of this show, or you want to do an ad on this show, it's simply $100. $100 keep us on air. $100 keep us giving you information. $100 gives us an opportunity to get all up in Candice Pickett business and everybody else's. And more importantly, $100 keeps my cameraman happy because that means I can feed him and pay him. So make sure that you guys tune in tomorrow. We'll definitely be on time tomorrow around 6. But other than that, it's time for us to go. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for taking out the time.
Me. I appreciate it.
Once again, kandicepickett.com. Go check her out. make sure that you guys share her information, get to know who she is, and most importantly, thank you, Danny Carr, for giving her this opportunity to even see more in Jefferson County, right? Because that's the only way you can grow and be able to do things when you get an opportunity to have hands-on. Yeah. I'm your favorite motivator, the motivator, Joshua J. Raby himself. Y'all have a blessed and prosperous night. Stay out of trouble, and we'll see you tomorrow.